Yeah, and another thing, man, you know, because the Lord's gonna destroy these waters and these rivers and all that kind of stuff, you know, all these the living things in it, they're gonna be destroyed too, man. Okay, and you know, these sea creatures, they've been under plagues and pestilences already, man. You know, in the seas, that's already been happening. Okay, with the oil spills and the Corexit and the nuclear waste and the plastics, all that's been going on and destroying these things already. And you see masses of fishes come up on the seashore, whales and shit, birds dropping out of the sky in mass numbers. Okay, so they're already under the plagues and pestilences that the Lord is already sending on this place, man. Okay, but people don't regard these things. But the Lord's going to add to that affliction as well when the Lord brings his final judgment on this place.
Well, you're going to have like angry waters, man, like tsunamis and so forth. The waters are going to be like, what do you call it, tumultuous waters, man. And basically you're going to see stuff you've seen on the news, but worse. You know, you're just going to see people, next thing you know, whoosh.
Yeah, you want to see them lightnings and thunders and that. Like I said, there will be smoke everywhere. You know, any movie that you've ever seen, like, that has that whole apocalypse look to it, you know, that isn't going to compare to what you're actually going to witness, because you're actually going to feel it, you're actually going to smell it, you're actually going to witness it live, like, in front of you. That you can't get that from watching a movie, man. You don't get the smell and the taste of the air. You don't get none of that, you know. But you're gonna feel it and see crazy shit happen, man, that you just never thought you'd ever see in your life.
Yeah.
You know, going up.
Yeah, it goes on to say, was thy wrath against the sea, that thou didst ride upon thine horses and thy chariots of salvation? The bow was made quite naked, according to the oaths of the tribes, even the word Selah. Thou didst cleave the earth with rivers. The mountains saw thee, and they trembled. The overflowing of water passed by. The deep uttered his voice, and lifted up his hands on high. The sun and the moon stood still in their habitation, at the light of thine arrows. They went, and at the shining of the glittering spear, thy glittering spear.
Missiles, yep.
Thou didst march through the land in indignation. Thou didst thresh the heathen in anger. Thou wentest forth for the salvation of thy people, even for salvation with thine anointed. Thou woundest the head of the house of the wicked, America, by discovering the foundation unto the neck.
Okay, so that's the Lord's judgment on this place. It's going to be severe. Okay, and the Lord's not holding back, basically. That's what it means. The Lord's wrath is so great. Like, on this place, he's not going to hold back. He's not going to consider the trees. He's not going to consider the rivers, the waters. He is just bringing judgment down on these heathens, man. Okay, that's what it shows. He's unleashing himself on these nations, man, and absolutely decimating them. Okay, I'm going to quickly get something. I forgot to add it. I think it's Revelation chapter 8. And just read. Oh shit! Actually,
5.
Yeah, I think. Okay, we'll just read through it. The point is in the 11th.
Revelations 8 and 5. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar, and cast it into the earth, and there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake. And the 7 angels which had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and there was cast upon earth, and they were cast upon earth. And the third part of the trees was burnt up, and all the green grass was burnt up. And the second angel sounded, and it was where and it, as it were a great mountain burning with fire, was cast into the sea. And the third part of the sea became blood. And the third part of the creatures...
So you're going to see things like that happen. You know, go on.
And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died.
Mm-hmm.
And the third part of the ships were destroyed. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. And it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood. And many men died of the waters, because they were made bitter.
Alright, so, you know, I need to go back through this breakdown again to expound on it properly, but, you know, I was just mentioning this because, you know, it speaks about wormwood, man, and it's funny enough that America means bitter. Okay? So, you know, this destruction is coming upon America, and then people are going to be bitter because of its judgment, basically, and everything that they're going to endure and suffer, man. Because like I say, all this, you know, part of the plagues and pestilences, man, okay, that the Lord is going to send upon them. You know what I mean? I mean, they already got shit, water, and all kinds of stuff already, man. And like, this is not even the end, like the very end yet, and they got to deal with that sort of stuff, man. But like we said, things are already going to perpetuate and become worse. Yeah,
right now you're seeing all the tension between UK, Russia, NATO, Germany, all these other countries, France, etc. That's really just the weigh-in and the conferences. You know, they're all weighing toe to toe. They're getting them photos done.
Well, you see these little skirmishes that there with these other nations and that, but like, you know, I like to call it like they're like the undercards, man. You know, it's not the main event. You know, they're just the lead up, okay, to that final event.
Little fights. You know. Then you get that voice, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, man, that's the trumpet.
Exactly, that's right, man.
You know, the angel says it's done.
It's done.
And America been finished off, man. The missiles finished it off.
The world heavyweight champion of the world, America.
AKA the big bad bully. You know?
Everyone's cheering, you know, the Lord comes on, they start booing, and then...
Oh no, actually no, what had happened, man, like the book of Revelations when it speaks about the harlot and it gives them all the titles, you know, and boxers get, you know, Triple G, they get all the titles, America, you know, the great whore Babylon, and you get all the titles before it's destroyed.
Make nations to tremble. Oh man.
But yeah, man.
But yeah, the point is the Lord's gonna destroy them.
Fully.
You know?
Fully. Okay. One more. I'm gonna grab one more.
Oh, you wanted verse 13? Let me get that.
What?
Whoa.
Nah, it's okay.
Nah.
It's okay. Get me Joel chapter 1, verse 15. Oh, yeah.
This is Joel chapter 1, verse 15. Alas, for the day of the Lord is at hand, and as a destruction from the Almighty shall it come.
Yeah, true down to 20.
Is not the meat cut off before our eyes? Yea, joy and gladness from the house of the Lord, house of our God. The seed is rotten under their clods, the garners are laid desolate, the barns are broken down, for the corn is withered. How do the beasts groan, and the herds of cattle are perplexed, because they have no pasture, yea, the flock of sheep are made desolate. O Lord, to thee will I cry, for the fire hath devoured the pastures of the wilderness, and the flame hath burned all the trees of the field.
Verse 20.
The beasts of the field cry also unto thee, for the rivers of waters are dried up, and the fire have devoured the pastures of the wilderness.
Okay, so that was to back up that point, the previous point. So I'm going to end it on Ezekiel chapter 30 verse 1 down to the 3rd. Okay, we'll end on that. So yeah, so the point is, man, there's a lot of things to think about and be concerned about when that day comes, man. Okay, this destruction is multifaceted, man, and you know, Babylon and you know Esau's kingdom is gonna go out in a great fashion, man. Okay, a great fashion, man. Okay, and that's why it's gonna be remembered among all the nations, man. Okay, not to be like Esau has been. Okay, to be righteous, man. You know, and these heathens, they're gonna learn their place, and they're gonna learn the laws from us. Okay, and they're gonna aspire to be more righteous, because you know perfection for them is not obtainable. You know, that's for us, but you know they're gonna be a more righteous nation than they have probably ever been.
Definitely.
You know, under our rulership, because we're gonna enforce the law. Okay, we're going to enforce the law, so everyone's going to be mindful of what happened to the wicked, which is Esau, aka the so-called white man, and his destruction. They're going to remember that, and they're going to have that memorial in America to remember it. Okay, but they're going to remember the story is going to be passed down to everything that happened, all the accounts. Okay, so they're going to tell that amongst themselves.
Yeah, they're not going to be into that idolatry. They're going to worship us.
That's right.
This is Ezekiel 30:1. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord power, how ye, woe worth the day, for the day is near, even the day of the Lord is near, a cloudy day, it shall be the time of the heathen.
Alright, the time of the heathen where they're going to receive their judgment. Okay, for all their wickedness, man. Okay, so like the scripture says, man, the day is near, and it nears every day. Okay, every day it gets nearer, and we see as we're watching these prophecies unfold, man, you know how close we're getting. Okay, people want a time and a date. There is no time and date. It's in the Lord's power, man. Okay, we just simply have to watch like we was told to do. Okay, but Lord willing, you know, Trump's the guy, you know, that bring this in, you know, before he, you know, the end of his before the end of his presidency, if he makes it that far.
Yeah, man.
You know, but yeah, Lord willing, man. You know, we can be out here soon, man. So, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so with that, you know, we're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.
And we'll catch you on the next video. Shalom.
Shalom.